priority is making sure that people who pose a threat to this country are immediately dealt with. And this
The White House and Department of Homeland Security outlining new guidelines for immigration enforcement. That has a lot of people in this country worried. Michelle Saenz Rodriguez, a Dallas immigration attorney. Are you hearing from both people here legally and illegally, documented and undocumented immigrants are worried?
Yes. The way that the memo was written, it really applies to everyone, people with green cards, as well as people who are here out of status.
Some folks would say, look, you're in this country illegally, you have no rights. Do you have rights even if you are in the United States illegally?
If you are in the United States, you do have rights. And I think what is important to understand is many of these people entered legally, their visas have overstayed, or they are in line for legal immigration, but because the system has failed them, it has not worked properly, then they're just sitting around waiting, which creates this class of undocumented or aliens who have overstayed.
Right, waiting and hoping they don't get caught and hoping they don't.
Correct.
Right, and now more than ever, there is pressure on them to toe the line. Don't even get a traffic ticket.
Exactly.
Do you see any sign? There are a lot of rumors going around, as I'm sure you're hearing.
Yes.
Do you see any signs or indication that the green trucks from the Border Patrol are going to be rolling down the streets, grabbing people off the streets and sending them south?
We have had reports and we have seen certain circumstances where there has been, I wouldn't call it a raid, or they certainly won't call it a raid, but a situation where you will have someone checking IDs. A couple of weeks ago down in Austin, there were, again, reports of immigration officers checking identification, which causes fear amongst the community. And it was in a place, I think it was near the bus station,
right,
where you would find a large amount of immigrants, legal and undocumented, both. But it does create that fear in the community.
Just as President Obama, one of the problems is there's a law. There's a law that kind of is over the top of everything. President Obama went this way, being pretty lax in enforcement and giving exemptions to a lot of people and lowering priorities. President Trump going the other way.
Correct.
There's a lot of leeway. Just like when a cop walks up to a 15-year-old kid with a can of beer, the cop can say, you're going to jail, or pour it out and get on your way.
Correct. And I think what we have to look at is a common sense approach. You have to look at what is the priority for public safety. The White House has continuously said the reason that we want to deport criminals is because it's not good for our community, it's not good for public safety. What has happened now is this broad sweep, this memo, really encourages law enforcement, immigration or otherwise, if they are under the Secured Communities program, to act as immigration officers, which leads to fear and leads to people who are not trained in immigration to become law enforcement for immigration. And so it does create confusion, it creates fear, it creates uncertainty in our community.
So that's going to be a policy decision, though, in the city of Dallas. Will Dallas police be checking IDs and turning people over to immigration, or not? Will Fort Worth police be checking IDs and calling INS and handing people over, or not? That's a policy decision.
That's right. Each locality will have to make their decision because there has to be a signed agreement between local law enforcement and immigration.
All right. Thanks very much. And I guess your suggestion would be, if you have any kind of documentation, even that you've been in the country, even if it's a utility bill, you probably want to have it in your pocket in case.
Yes, absolutely. Proof of your status, and as well as proof of being in the United States for at least 2 years.
Okay. Thanks very much.